It's a pleasure to be sharing crowd with you guys. Like I said, we've worked so hard, and it's super amazing to always to be able to tell people about this. So yeah, it's very interesting how the user research and feedback field has evolved over the years. We've gone from like the slow, ineffective methods of having to like create like group sessions, spend months on months carrying out research studies, right? To rapid research with platforms like user testing, Maze, right, Useberry. But then the way we carry feedback is still broken, right? And why? It still takes too many tools to gather comprehensive user feedback. Now, another issue is like tools that attempt to provide comprehensive feedback. Of course, tools like Maze, user testing, and Hotjar, they're attempting to create like an all-in-one platform. They're super expensive. And then if you say, okay, let's revert back to the traditional methods, they save costs, but they are limited, right? You can't run a prototype evaluation on Google Forms. You can't carry out a preference test. You can't run a CAP sorting exercise because it's built for surveys. That's all it is. It's a survey tool. For Zoom, you can run because it's useful for video calls, but it's not tailored for moderated testing. It doesn't have those extra features like multiple participant roles and being able to share tests while you are on a call, sentiment analysis and all, right? So it's not built for user testing because it's a conferencing tool, right? So that's basically why we built Crowd, right? The feedback system was too distributed, and when it was not distributed, it was too expensive. And that's why we wanted to solve that problem. So yeah, what's Crowd? Crowd is a comprehensive user research and feedback platform that's both cost-effective and super easy to use. I'm not sure how many of you have tried this, but then there are platforms that try to do like an all-in-one platform, but then all they do is acquire lots of tools. So user testing tries to solve this problem with like acquiring users, acquiring Enjoy HQ, and then you find yourself having to switch context across like 4 different platforms. Yeah, they are owned by just one company, but then you find yourself having to like log into 4 different platforms at the same time to solve that problem, right? Not many tools are able to combine so many features and make it super easy to use. And that's one of the things we're very intentional about when building Crowd. So we're not just saving costs, but we also care about usability. We also care about simplicity and it just working. So yeah, so what can Crowd do? Crowd can run unmoderated tests, right? Right now, Crowd supports simple surveys. It supports closed path sorting. It supports design surveys, 5-second tests, website evaluations, prototype evaluations, preference tests. And within the next 12 months, we're going to add first click testing, and we're also going to add tree testing, right? Our goal is to make it super easy for you to create unmoderated tests, right? A platform like Hermaid could basically link Crowd to their platform, right? And then launch tests directly into the platform, right? Like you just automate the process, you launch the test directly into like the Hermaid website, and everyone that visits the Hermaid website basically sees the prompt and can take the test, right? So you could launch a test, go back to bed, and wake up the next morning with feedback, right? And let's say you don't have a ready platform, you can hire from our participants pool. We have over 130,000 participants across the world. So we have lots of participants in the UK, we have participants in the US, and across other countries. And then there's like the email invites. Then we support like, of course, redirection, recording your screen activity. Yeah, all these are like more just like extra replace settings. And one other thing we do is we know the power of the voice, right? Sometimes it's hard for people to express their thoughts in text, right? They don't know the right words to say. And sometimes you just want to hear what people think without having grammarly improve their text, right? You don't want like without having like AI edit what they would want to say, right? You want like a verbal response. You can collect all that with Crowd. Crowd allows you to like get like verbal responses. Then you have like session replays. You can see how people go through your website. You can see how people went through your prototypes, right? You can see if they struggled at particular points. There's a comprehensive metrics that provide completion and abandonment rates, the time it took people to complete your test. And yeah, to our favorite feature, the AI summary and acts like AI chat. So one of the things I struggled with, right, and this was one thing, this was what basically influenced this feature. You get tons of feedback, right? And then you have to spend like an extra week trying to make sense of all the feedback, right? So we get feedback from like 20 participants or 30 participants, and then you have to like read through everything one by one. And of course, there's value in all that. But in cases where you have to make quick decisions, right, where you would like to quickly, within 10 minutes, understand what everyone is saying, right? That's why we build the AI summary feature. So the AI summary feature basically digests all your feedback, right? And summarizes it into your key insights, right? So you quickly get, okay, what's the insight I need to get from this test, right? What is the theme of the response? So you can basically sense how people, the decisions they're making, a quick summary, the sentiment analysis, if there are people who are feeling negative, if there are like negative feelings about your product, if it's largely positive, right? If it's neutral, you can get recommendations, and then a lot more, basically, right? And then we have like the charts AI feature that basically you can chat the AI. If you have some time after the session, I'll do like a live demo where you can see this in action, where you see the AI somewhere you can chat with it. Crowd allows you to share tests during sessions. So you can share a test and select a status, right? So when a participant is done with the test, you can basically say, okay, this was successful, right? The participant successfully completed the task. The participant struggled with this task, right? And if it was unsuccessful, you can basically mark it unsuccessful, right? And you can basically carry all this insight after your session is done and know, okay, participants struggle with this particular task. We need to make some improvements. Another thing we do is multiple roles, right? So you can, beyond participants, sometimes you want to invite your colleagues, right, to join the session. But then, of course, there are no active contributors in the session, just kind of the observers, silent observers watching and all that. That's why we built this. So Crowds has three roles. You have the moderator role, you have the moderator role, you have the participant role, and then you have the observer role. And then last but not least, you can basically write notes, right? Now, this is different from the comments and all the other. So you have, of course, you have like a chat and all that. But then the Crowd provides a notes feature that allows you to capture those aha moments, right? So if a participant figured out something quickly or struggled somewhere or something, right? You can basically jot it down as notes, right? And all this, and yeah, all this combined with session recording, AI summary, transcriptions, because who doesn't love transcriptions? I know UX researchers hate transcribing a session once it's done, right? Because it's very stressful. It's one of the most stressful parts of carrying out a moderated session. And yeah, that's why we built it. It tracks the words. So as participants are speaking, you can know where they are currently at in the transcription. And yeah, we also have like an AI summary, right? That digests the like the entire session. So one thing we're very clear about is we provide you with the tools to gather feedback, but then there's like an AI side that summarizes things quickly. So you can make quick decisions, right? Before you have that extra 20 hours to look through the sessions, right? You can quickly read through the summaries in 1-2 minutes, right? And make a quick decision if you need to. So is this all? Nope. All this combined with an embeddable feedback widget that allows you to get like customer satisfaction rating, NPS, debug reports, feature requests, a documentation feature, right? Because why pay for Notion if you don't need to, right? There is like we built in like a docs feature that allows you to document your insights, and then Kanban board feature, right? So because the feedback loop isn't a straight one, right? It's more of like a circle. You get feedback, right? You communicate this feedback with your team. And if there are actionable tasks, you create those actionable tasks, right? And those again influence the kind of feedback you look for, right? So that's why Crowd is more of an all-in-one platform, because you're thinking not just of the feedback collection part of things, but also like how you communicate this feedback and how you turn it into actionable tasks. And yeah, we also added like customizable template library for all the features, right? All while costing 4 times less compared to other tools, right? We're offering all this value. Of course, we have like lower plans, but basically for less than 2.5 compared to Maze user testing, where you have to spend $10,000 to $20,000 a year. All this is like less than 2.5 a year, right? Because why not, right? It shouldn't be super expensive to get the feedback you need to make quick decisions. So how does crowd fit into your development cycle, right? How would crowd be useful to Hermaid, right? Because Hermaid is past the ideation and conceptualization phase, right? Because you have a live platform, but then of course you would still be shipping out features, and you would still like be ideating around how to execute these features. So here's a 3-step flow, right? Crowd allows you to basically launch simple surveys, right? And then if you have your own target audience, you can send the link, like the test link to your target audience. But if you like your own audience, but if you wanted to recruit from like the UK, from the US, from Madrid, right? That allows you to basically recruit from our participant pool. You can select the gender, you can select the country, right? And then you get your feedback, right? All this tied into like our existing flow of AI summary, session replays, and the rest. And let's say you get to the design and prototyping phase. You can test your designs with our design survey, our preference test. And then when you have a fully fledged prototype, Crowd allows you basically integrate, so you can add your Figma prototype link to Crowd, and it will be launched as a test. Participants can look through your prototype and be answering questions. You can mark it as successful, right? You can decide what your success screen is. And let's say you've gone past that phase, you have like a platform of staging. You basically can create like a website evaluation, right? So this is an example of a website evaluation. So this is a platform, a website, and participants are asked to attempt to sign up for a free trial, right? And then you can create a moderated session. You can embed the feedback widget for bug reports, right? And yeah, you launch and learn. So once you're done launching your platform, you can embed Crowd's widgets, right? And then, like I said, you can launch a prompt to your platform that allows you to get feedback without stress. So by integrating Crowd into your platform, you can basically launch test requests as prompts like this. And as your users sign up, log in, they will see this kind of prompts and be able to take your test and give you feedback. Now, integrating crowd with your favorite apps, right? Right now, we only have two integrations. Crowd can integrate into your Slack workspace, right? So you can add crowd to whatever channel you want. And when you get new responses, they'll basically appear in your workspace like this. And then if you were to want to integrate crowd with other tools like Google Sheets, Notion, right? Then you can basically use Zapier. However, we have some really exciting stuff coming up. Within the next few months, we are adding our Notion integration, the Google Sheets integration. We're also adding like the rewards integration because we want to make it very easy for you to reward your users, right? One thing I know, the default habit, right, is to, or when I've run, like, when I did some studies, was to basically collect my participants' emails and then have to like send them like an Amazon gift card, a Google gift card after, right? We're bringing all that within Cloud. So you'll be able to launch, basically add any rewards you want for participants to get rewarded with. We also have a WordPress integration coming up on mobile SDK. And like I said, first click test, free testing, video and audio capturing during sessions. So we want you to be able to ask participants to voice out their opinions while taking your tests, right? We're also adding heat maps so you can track how participants basically went through your platform, right? And then we also have like a Google Meet and Zoom integration coming up, Zoom plugins coming up. So yeah, that's Crowd.
Have come to the end of this session. I want to especially thank Joseph and Susie for joining us today, and every one of us that took time out of their busy schedule to make themselves present here. It's been amazing. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing what Crowd has to offer. I really hope that we would, after this call, we would also explore Crowd and, if we want to do that, I'm going to be sharing the links in the chat. You could go through Crowd's landing page. You could also, shoot them a message on LinkedIn as well. And then this session will be, provided to us after this call. So I also want to say a big thank you to everyone. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Julio, and everyone from Hermaid and everyone else from all over the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anthonia, for moderating.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. All right. Have an amazing day ahead.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.